And hello again, everybody. Yes, indeed, game 2 from Quebec City. And the Nordiques lead 1-0. Joe Sakic's third goal with 38 seconds remaining did the Rangers in game 1. The officials come to center ice. The crowd is set to go. So are the goaltenders. Glenn Healy played in 17 games this season, 2.36 goals against average. Quite respectable. He was 8-6-1 for New York. But for the 3-goal night of Joe Sakic, this young man would have been the game's first star. He had 28 great saves. The referee tonight is Mark Fawcett, Swede Knox, and Brad Lazarowicz again working the lines. Basson, Simon, Deadmarsh, Lefebvre, and Wolanin starting for Quebec. Bukaboom, and this is Leach with the puck clearing it out. Graves, Messier, and Joey Kocur, the forward line starting for the Rangers. Bukaboom fanned on it. Simon nearly picked it up inside the Ranger line. Mark Messier whipped a pass, crossed the ice to Leach. Threw it back through center. Wolanin picked that off easily and dumped it in. Simon coming in after it, and here's Messier getting the first surge. He's across center with a neat pass in there. Now it's dropped in. Leach shot, and he missed on the short side. Another long shot is gloved. Kovalev ripping it from 35 feet, and the first stop of the game by Facette.
Look at Dick Todd and Colin Campbell behind the Ranger bench. Colin Campbell felt that his forwards didn't play a physical style in the third period, and that's why we have Stefan Matteau and Mark Osborne in. Joey Kocur, Nick Kiprio should supply some muscle. The defense, fairly the same. Karpovtsev and Wells were used very sparingly, 1 or 2 shifts a period. Colin Campbell likes to go with 4 guys. He felt they played as well as they played all year for 55 minutes. And then they let down, and the Nordiques are that good that they cashed in.
Huey Krupp takes it behind his own goal. Verbeek went in, rubbed him a little bit along the boards. Kaminsky threw a pass in. Here's Young's shot. He missed by a fair margin. And the puck winds up over the glass and into the crowd.
Well, you know, the old saying, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And the Quebec team is exactly the same with the exception of the backup goaltender, Garth Snow. Bob Basson played more minutes the other night than any forward on either team. And, of course, he's out there whenever Messier is out there when possible. On defense, the missing name here, and I don't think we stressed it enough the other night, was Curtis Leschyshyn, who is not in uniform again tonight because of his groin injury. Finished second in the league in plus-minus and was considered the Nordiques' best defenseman throughout the year. Not in uniform again tonight, but this young man is. Boy, they must have been celebrating in Burnaby when little Joe from Burnaby put on that show that he did in the third period here on Saturday.
Rangers take the puck after the face-off near the Ranger blue line. Sakic coming back in with it, though. Sakic passed one into the crease area. Clark was there, but tied up. Rangers back out. Karpovtsev shoots it in. Nordiques on it quickly. Up and in, shot it to center ice. Rangers bring it back in there. But offside, Kovalev made a move just before he hit the blue line.
One of the heroes of last year's Ranger run to the Stanley Cup was Alexei Kovalev, and he played pretty well in game 1. They were quite pleased with his play, although he didn't get enough shots on goal. According to Colin Campbell, he's got one of the best shots in the NHL, wrist shots that is, and he tends, like a lot of the former Soviet Union players, to overpass and not take the scoring opportunities when he's got them.
He brought over one of his former coaches from Russia, Igor Dmitriev, to work with him and talk to him. And he said, I told him, relax and don't think anything.
Don't think anything.
That's what he said.
I had a few coaches tell me that I wasn't thinking anything when I was playing.
And tonight we'll have plenty of updates for you in the other games. We're told Dale Hawerchuk, Buffalo center, will not play tonight due to a left hip strain.
That's a recurring hip injury, and they're very worried about that Dale Hawerchuk injury. He missed the final few weeks of the shortened season and now out again tonight.
Basson takes a bump from Kevin Lowe, but got the puck in. Zubov coming out for New York. Long pass ahead. It was a good one for Nedved. He dropped it out the line. Larmer closing in. The shot blocked by Facette. Another fine save early in the hockey game. update.
Thanks, Bob. The Philadelphia Flyers and Buffalo Sabres at the Spectrum. The Flyers won Game 1 with a lucky bounce. They get another here as the Sabre defenseman directs it to Rod Brind'Amour. No chance for Hasek, and it's 1-0 early on at Philadelphia.
How about those Flyers? Larmer trying to score here for New York.
Peter Nedved with a nice drop pass. Larmer has a sore elbow, but still gets pretty good wood on that one. Stéphane Matteau goes by the net. When Fissette's playing well, you have to go to the net and get in front of him.
Messier had a chance for a drive at the net, but the puck was on its edge, and he had it go way high.
John Muckler talked about that. You talked about the Philadelphia team, how they were crashing the net on Dominik Hasek, Bob. They were in the crease all night and able to make it count.
Rangers on the attack here. Bukaboom faked the shot, threw it into the corner. Kamensky can't get it by Bukaboom, but this time his drive is blocked by Wolanin. Ryan Leach, number 2, back for New York. Young forechecking. The puck up along the boards, but not out. Kamensky trying to take a rip at it with Ricci doing most of the working on the boards. Bukaboom hit. Puck slides by everybody down the ice. Messier is onside. Messier in with a low shot. Missed the far side. Leach passes one in front, and Graves was in behind everybody. All alone, here's Messier again. Messier digging it out to the line where Leach waits. Across the line, and then the long shot. It's blocked by Bissett. Again at the blue line. Bukaboom shot, nowhere near the net this time. Cleared down the ice. Kamensky won't catch up to it. Bukaboom there ahead of him. Messier, who logged quite a bit of ice time in Game 1. I mentioned it to him that he had played just about 20 minutes in the first 2 periods. And he said, yeah, maybe I should have played a few more.
A few more in the third.
Nearing the 4-minute mark of this first period. No score. Denmarsh gets the puck out of his own zone. Zubov picks it up in the Ranger zone with Lowe. Missed it. Denmarsh hit Lowe. Denmarsh going back at the net. Healy trying to poke it away from him. He couldn't do it. At the line at the far side. Laukkanen shot. That's deflected wide. Simon is back there, digging it out. He was bumped off stride. The puck hit the back of the net. LaPointe in to center it. Simon covered by Zubov. And Koser had to relieve the pressure by shooting it quickly. That'll be an icing call against the New York Rangers. Nearing the 5-minute mark, first period, no score.
At the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, it's a 1-1 game. Power play goals on both occasions. First with Carey and Ulanov drawing penalties. Pittsburgh a 2-man advantage. Francis works it to Yager, to Francis, to Larry Murphy, and he blasts it home to make it 1-0. But 37 seconds later, Sylvain Cote from the same spot. Mike Eagles gets the assist. The Caps and the Pens are tied 1-1.
We're tied here, but no score in this one yet. 4 minutes and 18 seconds for the first period. Nemchinov against Sakic. Ranger player winning the draw. Nemchinov lugs the puck to center. Pass to the right side. It's a little bit too far and had a foot. Can't get it out. Kyprios slapped it in back of the goal. On the boards, this is Yui Krug. Kyprios going after him. Puck is cleared out over the line, though, and Leach poked it back in. Rangers quickly get back on the side. Leach went in there deep. And into his man. Nordiques, Joe Sakic. From the corner, he's pinned there, got a skate on it. Knocked the puck loose. Hart tried to center it. Kovalenko didn't pick it up. And Leach is back in for New York. Gets over the line, trying to stick handle through himself, and Foot backhands it out and down the ice. Leach is open, coming in, can't handle it cleanly. Now the centering pass. Nedved was tied up in front of the net. Forsberg shot a long pass in. Healy has to play it. No icing. Forsberg dropped it back to Lefebvre. It's knifed and over the Ranger line. And Zubov goes back to pick it up. Forsberg went in and hit him. And the Nordiques keep it in at the blue line. Forsberg centered it. Nolan was open in front. The pass just missed him. Nedved back up. Takes a shot. Nice save by Facette. Got the blocker on it. Kevin Lowe keeps it in. Pass comes in front of the net. Facette was given a bump. Nearly fell. Play goes right on. And the Nordiques Forsberg stopped by Zubov at center ice. Matteau dropped it back to his own blue line. Two teams are changing. Kevin Lowe has to turn back. Zubov's pass intercepted at center. Kamensky brings it in. Make the shot on Lowe. Now he centers it. Covered in front was Scott Young. Messier now gets in there and get the backhander away though. Now he centers it right under the stick of Ricci. She's starting to open up out there early in this hockey game. We're nearing the 7-minute mark. No score yet. Messier had a great chance.
Craig Wolanin did a good job coming back. After he was beaten, he got his stick on that backhander and deflected it wide.
Wolanin now shoots a high one away for Young. Can he make it ahead of Wells? He tried hard. Wells caught him though. Young fell, got back up, stays with the puck, gets it out in front. A nice play. Lefebvre! And he missed scoring for Quebec. Valkonen shoots it in deep for Ricci. He fell. Messier on there again. Dangerous pass in front of the net though. It came to the line, kept onside. Ricci and Wells bump again. And the Rangers now have to shoot it down the ice. It'll make it to the goal line to the right of Facette. So icing is called against the New York Rangers.
Wendell Clark mentioned Joe Sakic coming to the fore when the pressure is on. Light players such as Mark Messier and Doug Gilmour, two team captains, and Messier here tonight looking for his 100th Stanley Cup playoff goal in his 202nd Stanley Cup playoff game.
Mark Messier goes around Craig Wolanin, but then Wolanin recovers. Got the stick out, deflected that backhander wide.
No score, first period. Coming up to the 8-minute mark. Leach, quick pass, back to Bukaboom. Might go to Leach again. He does. And back a second time. Finally, Bukaboom to center ice with the pass. Kovalev brought it as far as the line. Back out for Quebec, Kovalenko. He's knocked down by Bukaboom. Louis Krupp will stop it, might get a shot. And it's tipped high over the net. Kovalev again for New York. Down that right wing. Comes to the line and made a nice play for Nemchinov. His shot is blocked. Sakic turns. Didn't see the check in front of him. Krupp took a swing at it, missed it. Kyprios centered it. Boy, that nearly came in off Finn. And then Finn, when he saw his goaltender cover up, decked the Ranger player. Scott Russell is with us again tonight, of course. And let's go visit with Scott now.
Martin Madden was the general manager of the Nordiques 88-89, now a scout with the New York Rangers. So Martin, have you figured out a way for your new team to defeat your old team?
First of all, we have to skate, be with them all the time, check well, and get good goaltending. That's the main thing against the Nordiques.
You are a native Quebecer, and you were so intimately involved with this team for so long. Are you saddened by the fact that it would ever leave this town?
I'm definitely saddened because the fans have suffered for a long time here, and I think now they have a great team, and it should be staying here for them to look at.
Quick question, Glenn Healy and net, do the guys like to play in front of him?
They've played really well for him all year, and I think, he's been so good when he's come in that it's bringing on confidence to the team.
Martin, thanks for stopping by. Guys, back to you.
Chance around the Quebec net. The shot is fanned on. Nick Kyprios has a chance to pull it out by Stephen Finn. Tries to pass it, and Finn almost knocked it in his own net. Clark had the stick up, and then Finn flattened Kyprios.
I'll say the Rangers are playing fairly well in front of Healy. He hasn't had to make a save yet. The Rangers have had 4 shots at the set. Forsberg, long pass intended for Nolan. Just failed to work. O'Lannon shot it off the boards to the Ranger line where Zubov was waiting. Into the center ice area now. New York on it. Backhanded in by Verbeek out of the net to Set. Lefebvre's quick pass to Nolan. He just tipped it out to center ice. Lowe lifting one away. Knocked down at the blue line by Lefebvre. Verbeek takes a hit. He had to wait for his mate to get back on side. He was vulnerable. Took that late hit. Nolan, center, lifted up to the Ranger blue line. Lowe was there. Pass ahead. Nedved is going to bring it in, but Larmer was ahead of him. Offside.
Or I don't know about Kovalev. He had a bad turnover inside the Quebec line that stopped the Ranger rush, and then he fanned on that shot. Maybe he's thinking nothing.
He's thinking
Russian
nothing.
coach. So here's your man. John, will he play? Won't he play? There he is.
An enigma is a good word for Peter Nedved. 38 goals with Vancouver, and then a flop in the playoffs for the Canucks that year. Held out, wanted twice as much money. Finally, the deal to St. Louis and then on to the Rangers, and everybody expects him to play as well as he did that year. He got 38, and you wonder whether he can play that as well as that.
Potsdam put the shot right on. Line to center ice. Point kicked it ahead. The Nordiques come back to pick it up. Krug played it ahead. In back of the net. That's all. Trying to center it. Into the corner. Koser. LaPointe shot one over a stick. Denmarsh couldn't knock it down. It was a high pass. Rangers come back in. Flipped it back to the goal for Potsdam. Wells won't get there in time to keep it in. We passed the halfway mark of the first period. And the Nordiques are still looking for their first shot on goal. Osborne in the lineup tonight. He's wearing number 20. Lafayette with him. Osborne, good man working along the boards. And here he is again. Osborne taking a whack at it and picking it up. Slipped it ahead. Twice he lost it and got it back. Third time it comes to center ice. 9:30 left in the opening period. No score. In goes Koser. Shot away by Foot. Reaching, saw a man open. Young couldn't pick that up though. And Cassette will be out of the net to play. Laukkanen stepping away. Pass to Young. Young fired it from center ice. Healy watched that one going wide of the net. Here's the pass back in front. This shot kicked away. Kamensky picks it up and loses it. Roll down across the Quebec line. Rangers get a chance to change. Kevin Lowe back. Zubov coming out for New York with the Nordiques changing now. Lowe ripped the pass into Verbeek. Shot in deep by Messier. Lefebvre was back, moved it very quickly, and Forsberg slipped the pass out to O'Lannon. He's at center with Nolan up on the play. There goes Nolan, number 11. And Lowe was all over him. Basson stopped it. Passes back. Lefebvre's low shot. He missed the net with that low drive. And the Rangers, Messier sidestepping Basson, but then he was hit by Nolan. Stays with it though. Rolls in over the line. There's going to be a penalty. It'll be the first one of the hockey game. No score of this first period. 8:07 remaining.
Pat Verbeek of the Rangers draws the first penalty of the game. Basson and then Nolan were involved with Messier along the boards right at the penalty box area. There's Verbeek there with the cross-check on Nolan from behind as that scrum was taking place. There it is, lower angle camera.
The domino effect. Peter Forsberg pushed Verbeek, and then Verbeek got the stick on Nolan, the cross-check called. But after that whistle, Mark Messier and Basson had a long conversation. I think we'll see more of that.
11:53 gone, the time of the penalty. Quebec still without a shot on goal. Rangers have had 5.
The Nordiques have Young, Ricci, Krug, Clark, and oh yes, Joe Sakic.
Mark Messier is complaining about where the faceoff should be. He felt the puck was outside the blue line, but the linesman had decided the faceoff comes inside the blue line.
Messier will be on to take the face-off of the Rangers. Leach, the defenseman, parked up alongside. Graves, the other forward. Bukaboom, the other defenseman. Sakic with the puck for Quebec. No score, first period. It's centered. Messier is going to skate away with it. Pulled by Clark and backhanded the puck down across the Quebec line. Group back with Sakic to his left. To Sakic. And now Clark at center. At the line, ripped the shot. It was a good shot. Glenn Healy caught it. Now give him a break. He hasn't had anything to do with the puck so far since the warm-up. And he juggled that one.
12 minutes and 20 seconds, the time of the stop by Glenn Healy.
It was a good stop, and Kelly Rudy talked about the defense backing in. You're killing a penalty, you have to back in a little more, but Leach and Bukaboom were both quite far back, top of the circles. Adam Graves, the hit on Wendell Clark. Clark had taken a run at Messier, and that's one of Adam Graves' responsibilities. Anybody touches number 11, you go over, give it right back. The important net cam for the Quebec Nordiques in Game 1. There's a good angle of the save by Glenn Healy. He was out farther than he usually plays. He usually sits well back in the crease. That time he was out cutting down the angle.
Well, the New York papers blamed us, Hockey Night in Canada, for that goal counting the other night because that's why the net cam was there for Canadian television. And it showed the puck over the line in that somewhat disputed call, which there's no dispute at all.
7:42 remaining in the first period. No score. Quebec in a power play. 1.5 left on it. They'd like to shorten that up, I'm sure. Sakic. Pass from Krupp goes in around the net. Ricci threw it over there. Young to Krupp. Band on it. Rangers couldn't clear it away. Good play by Ricci to beat Bukaboom to it. Now Young stopped by Bukaboom. And it was cleared down the ice. This is Larmer racing in. Scores! Larmer pulling away from Joe Sakic and got the wrist shot through Stefan Bissett, and the Rangers strike first on a shorthanded goal.
Steve Larmer just fought off Joe Sakic. He's so smart getting his body between Sakic and the puck, blocking him off, and then snapping it through Stefan Bissett. The old 14-hole shot on the goaltender through the arm and the stick. Larmer fights him off, positioning. Body between Sakic and the puck. Sakic reaches around, can't get it, and Larmer snaps it through.
Messier gets the assist on the goal by Larmer, who's forever dangerous killing penalties throughout his career. He proves it once again. 12:48 the time of the goal. 1-0 New York. Low, clearing into the boards in the corner. Sakic kept it in, shot it around the net again. Nolan is on it for Quebec. Dropped it back. The drive right on, and Healy solid covering the angle as Forsberg tried to go in there on the short side. And now let's go to another Stanley Cup update.
Bob, oodles of penalties in this game at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. The Caps have a power play. Joey Mullen with a 4-minute minor for spearing. Peter Bondra gets it from Joey Juneau and Michael Pavanka. 2-1, the Caps lead 10 minutes into period 1 at the Igloo.
Thank you, Ron. That's a fine stop by Healy on the short side. 34 seconds left in the power play for Quebec. Verbeek and the Rangers in the penalty box. But Larmer of New York has scored. They're leading 1-0. Nordiques have them all the way back. 25 seconds left in the penalty. Laukkanen back to the goal. Jani Laukkanen, the pass to Forsberg. Up over the line, hangs onto it. Nice pass. Laukkanen threw it in to the side of the net. The Rangers again. Nemchinov shoots it away. And that will do it for the power play. With only 7 seconds left in that penalty to Verbeek. He's ready to come back on now. As the Nordiques come up to center, Wolanin. Penalty has been served. Verbeek out of the box. Nemchinov didn't see him up there. Goes rink wide for Lafayette. Wolanin shooting one away. Well, stopped it at his own blue line. Nordiques trailing the Rangers 1-0. Simon couldn't do much with it. Tries it again, but no room now. And the Rangers do not get it by him. Fired along the boards and out again. 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first period. New York 1. Quebec, nothing. Long shot in there. Another shot. Verbeek had 2 cracks at it. Now another one. What a great save by Fitzette. A beautiful save. He definitely saved the goal with that glove hand.
John, we're getting a lot more of this stuff after whistles early in this game. There's been a couple of incidents I've seen over at the benches during line changes. The cheap stuff, the sticks in the back of the legs and so on.
Pat Verbeek misses the first chance and the backhand goes wide. Stéphane Fitzette strong along the ice. The first save on Matteau and then the quick reaction with the left hand. Verbeek doesn't get a whole lot of the second shot. Good save on the wraparound, Matteau's wraparound, rolling puck, and Verbeek can't get a whole lot on it. It's end over end, and Fitzette gets the left hand up to make the save.
5 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. First period, 1-0. Rangers are leading.
Pat Verbeek is so surprised he's wide open. He misses the first shot, but then does a complete pirouette as a second try and just misses it. Mark Crawford shouting instructions. And Mark Crawford felt the Rangers made a late line change. And that's what he's complaining about. Mark's at home. He wants to have the last change.
And the faceoff is going to be deep in the Quebec zone to the right of Stéphane Fitzette. Rangers have tested him 8 times. Have beaten him once. Dead. 1 to draw. Verbeek again. Another glove save by Fitzette. He has Verbeek's number for sure.
Let's forget about the inexperience factor in the Nordiques goal from here on in. Oh, he's had a lot of experience, John, in these last, 65 minutes or so of hockey.
Another rolling puck, but that time Verbeek got all of it. He set well out, good stand-up style, got the left hand out to make the save.
We promised you we'd have plenty of updates for you, and we've got another Stanley Cup update. Ron?
Thank you, Bob. We're going to the Boston Garden this time. The New Jersey Devils blanking the Bruins 5-0 in Game 1, and off to a good start here as Stéphane Richer steals the puck from Bourque and scores the goal on Blaine Locker in net for the Bruins tonight. That's a shorthanded, unassisted effort. The Devils lead it 1-0 at the Garden.
Kevin Lowe fired a shot from the blue line into a crowd goal. It was blocked and cleared out. Verbeek still shaking his head, I'm sure, on the 4 scoring chances he's had. And on the first one, missed the net on the second. Robbed twice by Fitzette. 4:50 left in the first period. 1-0 Rangers on the shorthanded goal by Larmer. Zubov tried to throw a pass through for Graves. Lefebvre has it in his own zone. And here's Ricci for Young. Can't control it. Hit a skate. Back in. Kovalev. Backhander. Another big stop by Fitzette. Picked out the right pad. Some fine goaltending by Stéphane Fitzette. Well, the Rangers could quite conceivably have a huge lead.
3-4-0. That was even better save than the 2 on Verbeek.
Down the net in his own zone. Finn was knocked down. Nolan can't find it. Now he does. And Huey Krupp is up there alone. At the blue line, did a pretty good job there on Brian Leach. The all-star defenseman. Rangers get it out, but that's all. Nemchinov doesn't get too far. 3:50 remaining in the period. Here's Forsberg, dangerous. Again Forsberg, right in front. Healy down, and now he comes up shining for New York. Well, great goaltending so far in this first period.
Back with an update from the Civic Arena. The 3 Capitals on your screen are involved in this one. Keith Jones is going to the net and takes the pass from Steve Konowalchuk. Joey Juneau gets the other assist. 12:43 of the first period. Washington stunning Pittsburgh. It's 3-1 there, fellas.
Glenn Healy with his best save of the night as the Quebec Nordiques work a 2-on-1 down low. Peter Forsberg tries to get it through, then gets his own rebound. Little backhand pass. Healy's down, but he's not out. And that's the thing with Glenn Healy. You might not like his style. He never gives up. He reminds me a little bit of Kelly Rudy, our host analyst. Never gives up on him.
Line stop by Healy. Keep the Rangers in front, 1-0. Rangers in again. Drop back, Matteau to Nedved. In back of the net it goes. Larmer was parked in front of the goal. It got by him though. Puck to center ice. Clark was waiting at the blue line, and then it's called offside. Bob Cole with John Garrett, Dick Urban, Scott Russell, and Le Colisée in Quebec City. And the Rangers are here trying to even the series before the scene shifts to Madison Square Garden. It is 1-0 New York in this first period, and 3 minutes left in it. Ricci digs it off the boards, knocked down by Graves. Quebec stays with it though. Lapointe to Lefebvre. Glove stop again by Healy. Might have been off the net, but of course Healy can't take that chance. And as you pointed out, Dick, again they gather quickly and they mean business.
And there's penalties being called, penalties, we're not sure which, by Mark Fawcett here after all of that business. We mentioned how the players are quite feisty tonight after the whistle goes.
That's Claude Lapointe's first shift. Mark Crawford's trying to give his team a little jump start. Claude Lapointe's that kind of player. But I think Lapointe is going to go to the penalty box. Shot comes through. Craig Willanen's going to the net. The big defenseman is in the crease. Healy's already got the puck. There's some pushing and shoving after. And we have Claude Lapointe is the only one going to the penalty box.
So the Rangers, who not only killed off a penalty, but scored the only goal while killing that penalty. That was when Larmer broke away after Messier knocked the puck to center ice. That was at 12:48 of the period. Now, Quebec penalized.
Tough night for home teams with on the power play in Boston. Stéphane Richer with the steal out Raymond Bourque to give the Devils a 1-0 lead. And the Larmer goal here.
And the face-off coming to the left of Glenn Healy into Nike for Mike Richter. 2:51 left in the period. 1-0 New York. Messier has to move out by Sweet Knox. Leach goes back to the net. Now coming away slowly. Quarterbacking the power play as Messier up to the line, but he had a tough time controlling it. It was in his skates. Zubov stumbled, couldn't get back to it in time. Foot backhands it in. Nordiques change the penalty killers, and the Rangers come at him. Messier takes the pass. Nearly got to the net away from Fruit. Picked it along the boards in the corner where 3 Rangers are there, and Leach makes the 4th. And now Messier, side of the net with the pass for Big Messier. Leach at the blue line to the other side. Zubov shoots it in a crowd, knocked down, and it's cleared out of the zone by Nolan. Healy away out, saving a bit of time as the Nordiques were changing again. Pass goes to Zubov. Comes in over the line. Nedved's backhander is blocked by Fawcett. And it's shot over the glass into the crowd with 1:49 left in the opening period.
Game 1, the Quebec Nordiques. Stéphane Fawcett playing very well in the first period, but Scott Young dominated that first period, had a goal and assist, set up Joe Sakic for his first goal. The Rangers in the second period came through, and they were dominant. They carried the play, physically dominated the Nordiques, and then at about the 8-minute mark of the third period, the net cam goal, and the Quebec Nordiques were off to the races. Adam Graves with the 2 power play goals for the Rangers. The Nordiques 1 for 5. Stéphane Fawcett played very well in that one.
Zubov shoots the puck in, but Lefebvre is going to clear it out for Quebec. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Lapointe. Rangers on the move on the power play, leading 1-0. Nedved over the line. Shoots it in wide of the net, but Wolanin, the first one to pick it up. Length of the ice with it. Ripped it hard. Zubov back with Leach, the other defenseman. Scott Young, a penalty killer, roaming in there close to Zubov. Ricci broke up the play at center. It goes all the way down the ice. And the Nordiques do touch it first. Adam's foot was falling, but he managed to get a stick on it.
Peter Nedved was in front of Adam Foote, racing for that puck, and yet Adam Foote just pushed him aside, got there, and touched it for the icing. And that's the problem with Peter Nedved. When people describe his play, far too often, the word soft is used. And here's an example. It looks like he might get hit. Foote just fights him off, pushes him away, and gets to touch the puck for the icing. Larmer's there. He's giving it his all, but Nedved just handled easily with one arm by Adam Foote, pushed away.
Quebec 19-1-4 at home this year. With a win in game 1, make that 20 wins here now. But the Rangers are leading this one 1-0. 1:05 left of the period. Puck off for Potseb, got in front of the net. No harm done though. Lowe passes one back. Potseb gave it to Lowe again, and now the captain takes over. Messier coming to the line. They're watching him closely. He couldn't get by Young. It's shot in across the Quebec line. 43 seconds left in the period. Olan intercepted. Shot back in. Lefebvre this time. Penalty is over. The teams are at full strength. So this is going to be an icing call with Leach back to touch it. And 27.4 seconds left in the period, and the face-off will come. Up here, near this young man, Stéphane Bissette.
Hey, and that power play, it is the easiest 2-minute stretch of the first period almost. Very anemic extra man situation for New York. We mentioned now the goaltenders are taking over in Hockey Night in Canada. Kelly joining us tonight. I had the pleasure to work with Greg Millen the last couple of Saturday nights in Montreal, and I want to congratulate my old buddy Brian Hayward for a fine debut last night alongside Ken Daniels out at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. The Flames might have not had a very good debut in the playoffs, but Brian was right on.
Brian does it on a regular basis for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. He's their goaltending consultant, along with being the color man on their television shows.
Rangers win the draw. It got in front of the net, but very quickly the Nordiques get it up to Sakic and out. Ricci bumping with Nemchinov. 15 seconds remaining in the period. And Osborne is holding it with a skate.
Bob, this used to be, when I played here in Quebec, regarded as one of the best rinks for ice surface in the league. It used to be Edmonton was first and Quebec was second. Now you ask anybody throughout the league, and this would be in the bottom 3. It would be right there with Madison Square Garden and the LA Forum. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just the building so old.
12.8 seconds away from the end of the period. Mel Sudden Death Hill, who now lives in Fort Capel, Saskatchewan, is the subject of our Ford Stanley Cup legend. 3 overtime goals in the same series. That's why they call him Sudden Death Hill.
8 seconds left in this first period. And it will come to a close with the Rangers leading. This one dumped in on the net. Easy stop for Bissette. Both goaltenders sharp in this opening period.
John, a couple of shots of Glenn Healy. You get that feeling it's the same old deal. What, me worry? When he's in the nets. But I'll tell you, the Rangers are skating off thinking they should be ahead by more than one.
It should be. A perfect attitude for a backup goaltender. Glenn Healy relaxed, loose, and no wonder the team plays very confidently in front of him.
The only goal, a short-handed goal by Steve Larmer of the New York Rangers. Messier got the assist at 12:49 of that first period. The score then after 1, Rangers 1, Quebec nothing. Here's what happened in the first period. Look at the shots. The Rangers out shooting the Nordiques 11-3. Larmer, a short-handed goal, breaking away from center when Messier flipped the puck up to him. 12:48 the time. Speaking of time, he's at it again tonight. 9 minutes and 1 second, 10 shifts.
Phil Sakic, 9 shifts, shorter shifts, 5:37. Mark Crawford realizes that Messier is going to play and play a lot, so he's got Bob Basson and Mike Ricci checking him. He's got the 2 centerman system, and it's working fairly well against Mark Messier, game 1, and here in game 2.
And here in game 2, the second period is underway. 1-0. Rangers leading. Basson all the way back in his own zone, deep. Given away. Messier's pass, right on the money. Book-a-boom shot. That's blocked by Wolanin. Nordiques get it out. Messier took his man down to the ice goal and now takes the puck. Passes to Leach. Trying to stick handle in, but Basson caught him with a hit.
Again, Messier intercepts, shoots, right on. Messier gets it again, another shot. That's deflected. Good shot for Messier to start this second period. Rangers are changing now. Cassette plays it up along the boards. Forsberg, a long shot from center to the boards in the corner. Comes right to Zubov, though. Zubov to Nemchino. Up with Verbeek right behind him. He falls to the ice. Saw a hit coming from Laukkonen. There's a chance right in front. Nemchinov around the net. Can't come out with it. Low to Zubov. Shoots. That's deflected wide, and Lowe can't get over it in time to keep it in. Kevin Lowe comes back. Young is watching him. Went in to hit him, and Lowe tried to flip it away. He got it too high. Over the glass into the crowd.
Boy, the trend continuing here. Now, the Nordiques won each of the 3 meetings between these teams in the regular season. 2-0, 2-1, and 5-4. But talk to people, and they'll tell you, the Rangers have played Quebec, 45 minutes of the game, 50 minutes of the game, but always had the letdown. We saw the perfect example of it in Game 1 here. Mike Murphy, the assistant coach for the Rangers, told me this morning, we outplayed them the other night for the first 50 minutes, and they knew it. But it's the same old beat going on here, John. Rangers should be ahead by more than 1.
Nemchinov driving to the net, and that's what they're going to have to do on Stefan Fiset, getting his way. Coley Campbell, as you said, Bob, Mark Messier, that first shift, set the tone. Start Messier's line, be aggressive, carry the play, and try and hope that that carries on for the rest of the period.
Sakic comes out for Quebec with Clark and Kovalenko. Nedved in on the face-off for New York against Joe Sakic. Somebody waved out, I think.
Brad Lazarowicz said that the wingers stepped offside, and when the wingers do that, then the centerman's supposed to get waved, and I think that's what's happening here, Bob.
Exactly what has happened. Nedved has to go. I think it was Larmer who fingered to come in. Here he is. Sakic won the draw. Clark can't get the shot through. Big crowd there. Thin. A pass in off the boards. It gets out in front of the net, and Nedved will pick it up for New York. Out he comes. Larmer is to his right. He goes there, but Larmer was ahead of him. So was Matteau, for that matter. On the other side, they were both offside.
3-on-2, another 3-on-2 by the New York Rangers where they didn't get a shot. They didn't make that first pass. Peter Nedved leading the rush, and Larmer didn't like the call, but he was offside. Brad Lazarowicz and Swede Knox, the same linesmen who did Game 1, are here again.
Maybe we should mention right here that on April the 20th against the Hartford Whalers, Steve Larmer played in career game number 1,000.
Louis Krupp back to the net for Clark on the boards. Just tapped it away. Now here's a chance for Sakic, but he can't quite beat his man. Matteau stayed with him. Ryan Leach and Larmer. Larmer shoots it away. Matteau is going to the Ranger bench. They're changing. 1-0 New York. Goal in the first period. Lyle Larmer shorthanded. Adam Graves fires one in wide of the net. And the Rangers get a chance to change as Krupp comes back out for Quebec. Here's Clark. Jammed out of the play along the boards at center ice by the veteran Jay Wells. Messier on again. And coming in with the brakes on now. Messier fired a pass in. Olanen stopped it to Forsberg. He made a good move on Messier. He centered it right in. Score!
Mark Messier and Jay Wells get tangled up. Miscommunication. Messier, where's Wells going? He's completely out of the play. Forsberg, nice pass. Touch pass to Basson. No chance for Glenn Healy. Jay Wells just left his area. Forsberg throws it to Owen Nolan, who gives it to Basson on the forehand, and he quickly on the tape, off the tape. No chance for Healy.
Only the 4th shot for the Nordiques in the game.
So the game is tied, 1-1. Quebec on it again. Nolan overskates it deep in the zone. Graves and Messier get together. Messier brings it in. Graves took a swing at it. Quebec, and here they come again. Up to center ice. Played up the line, Forsberg. He was checked. Forsberg trying to find it, took a swing at it, knocked it away from Zubov, and he'll have to go back. Clark was chasing him and nailed him in there. Didn't get all of them. Verbeek in for New York. Lost it at the blue line. And the Rangers. Leach head to center. Crowd is alive now with the score tied 1-1. Basson at 2:38 of the second period. Nolan and Forsberg with the assists. Malkinen turning in his own zone. Laid it ahead to center ice. Kovalenko steps over the Ranger line. Glove save, Healy. And he hangs on to it. No further play, and the faceoff will come in the Ranger zone when we come back. Basson has tied the game for Quebec.
Good play all around, except for Jay Wells. Forsberg goes wide, and Wells turned inside. By the time he gets turned around, Nolan's giving it to Basson. Karpatsev came over to help out. He left Basson wide open, and they rarely use Wells, and Karpatsev burned on that one.
1-1 tie, nearing the 4-minute mark of the second. Long shot. Healy tried to glove it. Whizzed by him, missed the net. Kovalev back in for New York. Trying to fool Adam Foote. He won't do it. Simon comes back to help. Rangers fight for it in there, but the Nordiques do get it out to center. Leach whacks it back in. In a long first period, too. 10 minutes and 20 seconds. 11 turns on there for Leach. He's on again now, watching Simon set it up to Foote. His shot, wide of the net. Healy sprawling, fell down. Simon knocked it down with his glove, but couldn't keep it inside the line. That toll going off, so he couldn't move on it. Huey Krupp tried a weak shot, steered all the way out by Healy. Lannon waited too long. Kovalev nearly went in there. Here's Ricci getting the pass ahead. Now he's on it again. Ricci was grabbed from behind. He keeps going. Didn't like it, nor does the crowd. You can hear them booing in disgust. And he goes right on for Nedved. Round the net. Whipped it over Young. Rangers get it out. Now the hitting is starting to pick up in this hockey game. Larmer ripped it in from center. Kaminsky doesn't move on it. Long shot in there. Another shot. Bissett looking everywhere for it, and he didn't have to move. It was underneath him. And he hangs on, and the crowd gathers again. We'll take a moment here now and visit once more with Scott Russell.
Jocelyn Thibault played 18 games for the Nordiques, won 12, lost only 2, and tied a couple, but you lost a battle with a puck this morning at practice. Tell us about that.
Well, I just got a puck on the side of the head, and in the couple minutes right after that, I felt a little dizzy, and my view wasn't very good, so I just stepped out of the ice, and now I got a little headache.
A little bit of a concussion. We know you can dress first game in New York, but what's it like for you to be this young and so competitive and have to watch all this excitement?
Well, you know, I think it's a great experience for me. You know, I'm only 20 years old, and I think I have the chance to learn a lot from these series, and I'm looking forward to win the Stanley Cup too this year.
Hope to see you soon, Jocelyn Thibault. Back to you guys.
The Rangers, as you see, have just scored and have taken a 2-1 lead. It was a face-off to the right of Stéphane Bissett.
Mark Crawford's not going to like this one. Right from the face-off, the New York Rangers driving to the net, and nobody had their defensive assignments.
So the Rangers, having watched the Quebecs, Nordiques tie it up, come right back and on a face-off, get the go-ahead goal again. Adam Graves at 5:37. This is an icing call against Quebec.
Graves gets a goal unassisted, but on a face-off, You can't let the guys drive through. Everybody has a man on a face-off, and I'm sure Mark Crawford is going to look at the video on this one and say, well, okay, guys, there's a basic assignment. Messier fights. Graves just jumps right through the middle and slides it right through Stéphane Fiset. Everybody left too soon, and Graves was wide open. Bassett takes the draw there as Graves sneaks in, grabs the puck. Messier has the centerman, and Graves is wide open.
So New York 2, Quebec 1. Just over 6 minutes gone in the period. Bukaboom shot, away wide, rebound though. Puck still loose, they score. Nobody was moving. And Matteau just went in there to the left side. And just like that, the Rangers have taken a 3-1 lead. Nemchinov, I think, will be the goal scorer. Watch it here.
Nemchinov tips it in front. Matteau circles around all sorts of time. Nemchinov stick on the ice. Joe Sakic at him, foot. Nobody takes the stick. Puck goes back. Bukaboom does a good thing. Off the backboards. Make sure it goes through. Nemchinov has one crack and then just goes to the net. Matteau's got it. Nemchinov's in front, and it's off his stick past Stéphane Fiset.
So the Rangers bounce back with a vengeance. Quebec tied it, had the crowd going. Everything was fine. But now, very quickly at 5:37, 6:10, the Rangers open up a 2-goal lead. 3-1.
Lapses like this, we saw this in the second period, Dick. In a young team, you worry about their confidence. Things start to go a little bad, the puck starts to go in, they sag, they let one goal in, everybody's thinking about the one goal, and bang, there's another one right after.
The excitement level had just jumped so dramatically in this building after their tying goal, and you wonder if maybe they hadn't got caught up in it a little bit. And they just were running around, as the cliche goes. A tough moment for Mark Crawford and his gang.
And he's talking to his captain, Joe Sakic, who picked his team up in the third period in game 1, and I'm sure Mark's saying, okay, go out and have at least one good shift, settle things down.
Goals in 33 seconds by the New York Rangers. They're healthy again, but they were healthy for a while in that first game. With a 2-goal lead. Sakic caught fire. And that, of course, was a 5-4 win for Quebec. The Rangers fighting back. Here's Messier. Trying to center it. It gets loose in front of the net. Knocked away by Simon in the nick of time. Simon comes down at the line. Pass, though, went to Sakic. Now Simon goes in after it. Ed Marge didn't see him open in the slot. And gave it to Sakic, who was on the angle. Set. Keeping it back of the net. Craig Wolanin. Crowd trying to get the Nordiques going again. Nearing the 8-minute mark of the second period. 3-1, New York Rangers. Here's Sakic. And the puck was bouncing all over the place. Kamensky stopped it. And he's sorry about that because he was nailed immediately by Kyprios. Here's Larmer. Turning back on the backhand. Now to Larmer again. Hook to the head. A shot in there, and Fiset saw it somehow and made the stick save. Ricci in over the line with Kamensky, went by him. And the Rangers get it all the way to Larmer at center ice. Back for Leach. He rifled it in right away, and the Rangers want to make changes. Long shot right on the net by Nedved. And Fiset will hang on to it. 12:07 remaining in the period.
Quite a contrast with the backup goaltending tonight. Garth Snow has never played a Stanley Cup game. Mike Richter has been a key man in the Stanley Cup victory. Richter has to sit across the ice from the benches beside the penalty box. There's not enough room in the bench area for the visiting goaltender, so he's Mr. Lonely down there directly below. It's interesting that Garth Snow comes up, John, from Cornwall. It's Cornwall and Binghamton, the two farm teams of these two teams, who are playing against each other in the AHL.
Garth already has 2 shutouts in that series.
Zubov passing one in for Kovalev. Nemchinov circle the net. And Coach took a swipe at it. Nordiques pick it up. This is Bob Basson. He has the Quebec goal, and he's coming in there again. Devanolo sizes him up, lines him up, and then stop him. Kovalev back in his own zone. to Nolan. Centered it. Deflected away as far as the line and put it in there again for Forsberg. Out it comes. Foot gets rid of it. Lee Krug shoots it in. Comes around the net for Forsberg. And Nolan has to come back to center ice. Kovalev took it from him and then took it from Clark, and he's hurt. Clark nailed him at center ice. Kovalev was very slow getting up. Seems to be okay, although he's looking to the Ranger bench. And there he goes. Clark, long shot in there. Healy stopped that. Clark coming in again. The crowd sense that Wendell Clark is trying to do something in the way of contact.
Steve Larmer with the hit down deep in the Nordic zone on Laukkanen, who is still down on the ice. Now Clark puts the grab on Nathan Lafayette, I think it is, with his sweater pulled up. Meanwhile, a couple of the Nordiques jumped on Steve Larmer.
That wasn't such a bad hit on Laukkanen. It was the icing. Clark nailed Kovalev. And Laukkanen's down. The problem with some of the players, Kovalev looked like he was dead on the ice, got up and tried to play the puck. The little shove by Larmer, and Laukkanen goes awkwardly into the boards.
Mark Crawford over there wants a penalty called. The referee Fawcett is in fact heading for the penalty bench area. But here's what happened in the center ice area. We mentioned Wendell Clark trying to fire everybody up again.
Well, quite an active sequence right there. Right elbow on the money on Kovalev from Wendell.
Wendell gets that right elbow out, catches Kovalev on the chin, and Kovalev goes down. There was no penalty called on that one. And then Larmer gets a penalty on this play on Laukkanen when he just shoved him into the boards, and that's what the players have problems with, is the inconsistency. You let that one call go, and then that little push, because Laukkanen stayed down longer. The arm wasn't up on the play, and then the call against Steve Larmer. Wendell comes by, the right elbow is right there on the chin, and there's no penalty called on that one. And the Larmer play on Laukkanen, and Laukkanen's all right.
And Quebec has a power play chance. Larmer with the penalty. At 9:09 here in the second period. A lively bit of business right now after the scoring outburst. And after the Rangers made it 3-1, John, they had a couple of great chances to score. The fourth, a chip shot deflection by Adam Graves, just went over the crossbar.
That's a boarding call against Larmer. Comes at 9:09. 10:51 left in the period. Quebec tied it at 2:38. Bob Basson from Nolan and Forsberg. Then Graves at 5:37 on assisted. Nemchinov from Matteau at 6:10. Rangers lead 3-1. And on a power play now, the Quebec Nordiques. Huey Krug. Pass behind Messier, cruising in there. He wanted to set up Sakic, hoping that the Quebec captain can get something going again. Group back. Young on the ice. Ricci, Clark, and of course Sakic. The pass deflected away from Sakic again. And here's Messier, one man back. Messier, Graves catching up, and Messier elects to kill a few seconds on the penalty and go back to Leach. And he shoots at the length of the ice. 1:15 left in the power play for Quebec. 3-1. The Rangers are leading. Pass goes by Kevin Lowe, but Healy likes to play the puck too, and he got it away. Kovalev dropped it back. Zubov fanned on it. But Kovalev is there to clear it. He hit Ricci trying to move it in. Wendell Clark falls. Crowd wanted a penalty. Kovalev comes in for New York. Made a fancy move. Right in there and around the net. He tried to stuff it in. Just lost it. Pretty good penalty killing, though, by the Rangers. Sakic in. He is stopped. Watch Healy again. He'll play it into the corner. Doesn't get out. Now it does. 30 seconds left on the power play. Nemchinov skating in on Laukkanen. Laukkanen takes the pass. He had to stop to pick it up on the backhand. And and then left it. Driven in from center ice by Lefebvre. That's broken up and cleared again.
Lauken had not hurt that badly on that boarding call against Steve Larmer. He was down for a long time, stood behind the bench, and now is part of the power play.
Kovalenko moving up for Quebec. Penalty just about over. Forsberg in after it. Can't pick it up. It shot the length of the ice. Larmer was out of the penalty box, and he's the first one in, so Facette had to play it. Coming up to the 12-minute mark of the second period, 3-1 Rangers. Kovalenko dumped it in back of the Ranger net. Wells gave it away. Lefebvre was waiting for it at the blue line. It is center. Karpatsev was waiting for that, and now Graves out with Verbeek. Missed it. Knocked over him. Nordiques bring it back again. Pass into Nolan, but he was offside at the Ranger blue line with 8 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the second period.
Stanley Cup update action from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Shorthanded 2-on-1, Rod Brind'Amour to Rob DeMaio, and it's 2-0 for the Philadelphia Flyers at that stage. Brian Holzinger then takes a feed from Gary Galley moments after that and beats Ron Hextall to narrow it to 2-1. The Flyers leading the Sabres in the second there.
Thank you, Ron, and 3-1 here with 7:50 left in the second period. The Rangers are on top of the Nordiques again and taking it to them again. Messier knocking down a high pass, slipping away from Lefebvre to get it out front. But Simon was waiting there, and he just shoots it out and down the ice. Simon took a high stick, didn't like it. So watch it if he gets going. He's number 12. He and Verbeek now bumped together over there near the Quebec bench.
Deadmarsh and Kevin Lowe give each other a pushing and shoving.
For Verbeek, and one of the Quebec players on the bench had something going, and some light punches were thrown.
Sylvain Lefebvre. Pat Verbeek took a skate in the chin. He's got about 18 stitches just under that chin strap. Mark Facette is finally going to call some more penalties. And there's some more pushing and shoving, and Chris Simon doesn't like it.
Now, Adam Deadmarsh is a teenager, and Kevin Lowe is the grizzled old veteran on defense. And they're the ones that started this thing.
We saw Brian Marchman get suspended for whacking somebody from the bench in an Edmonton game.
Claude Lemieux in New Jersey, same
Claude
thing.
Lemieux. Here's the hit. Kevin Lowe on Deadmarsh. Then he has the leg takedown. Takes his feet out, gives him a little shot. Deadmarsh comes back. And there's Verbeek. Wendell Clark on the bench gives Verbeek a little shot.
Verbeek got the stick up there pretty good on Simon. Now the penalties have been called. You've got two Nordiques in, Simon and Lefebvre, but only a 2-minute penalty showing against number 2 Lefebvre on the clock.
That Verbeek goes off, and that cancels the Simon
he's
penalty.
got 2. Okay, didn't notice it.
And Verbeek gets a little face massage for Simon. That's the one. And Sylvain Lefebvre was in with Verbeek originally, and that's Kevin Lowe. Went off, and Pat Verbeek doesn't get anything. Alexei Kovalev has problems with his confidence. He's brought along a good luck gnome or something that he has in his locker. And when you're confident, you try practice moves. Here's a practice move. Through the feet, off the skates, and the backhand shot around the net. And that's a confident Alexei Kovalev. You don't even think about trying that when you're struggling. You're playing pretty well. Let's try it. Off the skate, through the legs, try the backhander.
So 2 Nordiques, 1 Ranger, the penalty box situation, and a power play now for New York,
who are leading 3-1. 7:32 left in the second period. Messier then on again. Verbeek on his right side, Graves on the left wing. And Leach. Zubov, the other defenseman. Verbeek takes it into Messier, scores! Messier goes in and wicked low shot, and Facette didn't have a chance to move on it. And that makes it 4-1 New York.
Mark Messier joins Wayne Gretzky and Yari Curry as now the only 3 players to score 100 goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
what a pass from Brian Leach to start this play. Brian Leach gets 2 steps, full speed, hits Pat Verbeek. Perfect pass, tape to tape. Messier cuts to the middle, Verbeek backhand, quick shot. Stéphane Fiset not set. Verbeek on the backhand pass, and Stéphane Fiset comes over, but he can't get his feet steady. And when you can't get your feet steady, you can't react. That was a bang-bang play. His feet weren't steady. Messier picks a corner.
12:41, the time of the goal by Messier. So it's a 4-1 lead for the New York Rangers now. Everybody was telling us that the Rangers need a comfortable lead. They've been known to blow smaller leads during the season. They've lost quite a few games by just 1 goal. Now they're up 3. Let's see how they handle that. In the second period, a little over 7 minutes left. Pass back to the line. Larmer tried a shot. Loose puck there, Bissett. Got the left leg out and stole one from Nedved. Sakic back in. Nordiques on the move. Shot by Kovalenko was tipped away and they fight for it on the board. They hold it there.
Now Wendell Clark's going to try and get something going with his physical presence. Takes a little elbow at Stéphane Matteau. Shot at Jeff Bukaboom. In comes Yui Krupp.
I tell you, he rippled the goatee on the chin of Peter Nedved when all of that started. Look at that power play goal. Kevin Lowe won't get an assist because he's sitting in the penalty box, but it was Kevin Lowe's takedown of Deadmarsh that started that whole hassle that led to the extra man for New York and the power play goal by Messier.
Wendell Clark's going to try and draw a penalty. The swing around, then he takes a shot at Bukaboom. Gets up, little shot at Bukaboom. And the elbow on Stéphane Matteau, good right elbow. We've seen the Gordie Howe-like elbows of Wendell Clark a couple of times tonight. And he escapes again. Trying to get something going, trying to get his team to react. He said his role here is different with Quebec than with Toronto. In Toronto, he had to be a physical presence and a scorer. Here a lot of nights, there's so many other scorers on the team, he doesn't have to do that.
The Messier goal at 12:41. The assist for Beek and Leach. 4-1 New York. Owen Nolan brings it over the line. Forsberg turning back. Now Basson hands it up. Score! Laukkanen was up on the play in deep, and he was set up perfectly.
Peter Forsberg with his second assist of the night. Nice little back pass to Bob Basson. And Basson, instead of shooting, slides it over to Laukkanen, who's jumped up into the play. He's a good offensive defenseman. On the forehand, Forsberg to Basson to Laukkanen. Not much chance for Glenn Healy. He got a good piece of it. He came across, but it just trickled in.
Comes at 13:37. Laukkanen in the goal. Basson and Forsberg will get the assist. Well, that's his first goal. A big one it is for Quebec. With 6:23 left in the second, he cuts the lead by 1. It is now 4-2 New York.
Mark Messier just coming back after having his skates sharpened. Checking them out. Another problem with the bad ice, and now they're saying, well, you can't make that line change. Nathan Lafayette has to come back on. He'll go right to the bench for Mark Messier.
So play underway again. Kamensky. High pass to be knocked down, and Young shot it in. Kamensky after him, he has it to Young. Took a shot that was blocked. Bukaboom in front of it. Graves cleared it out over the zone. And all the way back inside the Quebec line. Ricci. He left it for Kamensky. Shoots. Healy knocked it down, and before anybody could move on it, he smothered it.
Nordiques have only had 10 shots on net. Here's a good chance. Kamensky lets it go through a screen. Healy's out, stays on his feet, takes it off the logo, makes the save.
Puck is centered, but Graves on it for New York to get it out. Verbeek dropping it. Messier shoots it in behind the net. Graves moved in there. Big Brute took care of him though. Near the line, Verbeek takes a hit from Nolan. Shot it in behind the net though. Brute trying to get loose. It's thrown out over the line, and the Nordiques get on it up there. Brute tried to pass it ahead, didn't work. Finn takes a bump. Masson shoots it in. Jay Wells lifting a high one away. It'll go right down inside the Quebec line. Adam Foote is forced to go around the net to Masson. To Sakic. He had to turn to pick it up, and it went off his stick and into the Ranger bench as they were changing, and the gate was open.
How many times do you see that? The puck right through the door. They could practice that for half an hour and they wouldn't be able to do it. The last chances they had, John, on that replay that you showed there a minute ago. One of the reasons they had that quick chance, little open ice at the blue line, was Lafayette did exactly what you said he was going to do. He left the scene. Messier came on and they almost got caught on the change.
That was a bad change. They didn't have control of the puck in the neutral zone. Lafayette still went to the long bench. Here in the second period, it's the far bench, and the Nordiques had the chance.
Adam Foote gets back to the net. Lafayette, or rather Matteau, chased him. Got his skate on it too. Larmer goes to the ice on a hit. Laukkonen all over Larmer. Finally, Larmer gets back up, but Laukkonen takes the puck. Hit the back of the net, it'll stay on the mesh. And they have to call the play. 3 goals by New York, 2 by Quebec in this period. 4-2.
Campbell and Mike Murphy behind the bench. The Rangers keep saying, hey, we're not part of history. We weren't around in 1940. That's what you heard a year ago. Nevertheless, we'll show you this when it comes to Game 1 in playoff competition. The Nordiques, when they win it, have won 3 and lost 4. But look at the Rangers. When they've lost the first game of the series, they've only 2 wins in 18 situations like that.
Tell that to the Vancouver Canucks. They beat the Rangers in the first game of the finals last year.
The New Jersey Devils. Well, Rangers lost the first one here, and many of the Rangers, almost all of them to a man, felt they should have won the hockey game. The set was terrific. The Rangers were ahead by 2, let down, and full marks to the Quebec Nordiques. Sparked by Sakic, and they pulled it out. 5-4. They're on the move again here. Deadmarsh lifting one into Simon. Shot! Nice save by Healy. Deadmarsh going for the net for sure. Is going to get a penalty, I believe. He went right in there and hit the goaltender.
Update action now from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Anatoly Semenov gets to play on the big line with Lindros down. John LeClair feeds him the perfect pass. 3-1. The Flyers lead Buffalo in the second, Bob.
Change that. It's a Ranger penalty. Even though the goaltender was bumped, Zubov was called from something over in the corner. Watch this.
Zubov gives Deadmarsh the shot. Deadmarsh made sure that he was going into the goalie, but Zubov gave him the push from behind, and Zubov takes the interference penalty.
And then a bump in the corner. That's where the referee caught him right in front of the net. He did it again, circling, just trying to cover up. Well, that time he was nailed for interference on Deadmarsh, who went into the net. He just did get out of the way. So it's a power play, Quebec. 4:15 left in the period. Nolan. Forsberg. Simon. Here's Sakic. Blocked by Healy. What a beautiful setup, though, with Sakic. Supposedly trigger man, and he couldn't beat Healy. 3:50 left in the period. 4-2 is the score. New York leading.
Glenn Healy gave him nothing to shoot at. Good 3-on-2 again. Forsberg started it. Sakic tried to finish it, but Healy gave him nothing to shoot at.
Nolan trying it now, getting the line, but Clark is called on the offside. He didn't think so, but it was called.
Chris Simon has the reputation as being a tough guy in the Nordique scheme of things, and he is. 3 goals, 106 penalty minutes, but I'll tell you, he's looking like Joe Sakic at times tonight. He's played very well offensively.
Nice backhand pass to send Sakic in on that last chance. It was Forsberg to Simon. Simon on the backhand pass, and Sakic just couldn't beat Glenn Healy.
Zubov was the penalized player, not Deadmarch. Quebec, so he's in the penalty box for interference. He upended the Quebec player. Rangers get it out. 3:20 left and a minute left in the power play for Quebec. Larmer, nice interception. Laid it up inside the Quebec line. Kovalev chasing Young, can't pull away from him. Nemchinov shoots it in deep. 40 seconds left in the penalty. To Zubov of the New York Rangers. Rangers 4, Quebec 2. Second period winding down. Young shooting one in. Ricci is dumped heavily at the blue line. The Rangers get it out again. 20 seconds left of that penalty to Zubov. And there she goes by Leach all the way down the ice. Fave back. Rangers handling the Nordiques pretty well on this power play. Forsberg to Lefebvre, and he'll have to shoot it in. 2:25 left in the period, and the penalty is now over. Rangers have killed it off. Zubov out of the box. Lefebvre on the puck to the far side. That went high, knocked down off the glass. And Adam Graves comes away with Messier. Nolan tried to hit Graves, fell himself. Lefebvre pounds it in again. 2 minutes remaining in the period. Quebec trying to get one here. Zubov right in front of his own net. Got it to Leach in time with 2 Nordiques in on him. It is Leach bringing it up. Messier backhands it in front of the net. Scramble, and it gets wide of the net. Somehow, I think the net must be off. Maybe the goaltender is shaken up.
Another close call for Adam Graves in tight on Vicet. Messier on the right side, John just pulled away from Forsberg, who was trying to hang on to him. And the close call at the net on the Messier pass right there.
Brian Leach was the first one into the net, and then Adam Graves came crashing in, knocked Stefan Vicet's mask off. Our net cam doing its job again. Stefan Vicet puts it back on. Messier tries to hit Brian Leach. Leach is going through. The rebound's there. Graves shoots it just wide. Simon takes Graves in. Lefebvre on Messier, but the Nordiques dodge a bullet with that one.
Graves, Messier, and Leach coming close to scoring again for New York. They're up 4-2 with a minute 40 left in the period. Larmer fired one in front from the line. This shot is deflected away. Wells doesn't do much with it, and Lapointe brings it out to center ice for Quebec. Dumps the puck in. Healy watching the Nordiques come in, tried to clear it. Came out in front just as he got back to the net. And the Rangers pick it up. And it's shot in wide of the Quebec goal. Proof against Manteau. Steered out. Deadmarch made a pretty good move to get away from Wells. Lapointe comes in. Lapointe with foot. We're in the final minute of the second period now. 4-2 New York. And the Rangers come out. Bodies all over the place behind Manteau. He waited. And finally, something happened behind the play. And there's a penalty, and it might be Lapointe.
Yeah, Claude Lapointe and Peter Nedved. It was the end of a sequence. There was a tremendous collision right at the side of the Ranger goal. That's right, Dick. Just before that, and Lapointe fell right on Jay Wells and shook him up, and then Nedved and Lapointe got into it, and the penalty call came against the Quebec player.
Mark Crawford talked about that after game one. The Rangers had 2 power plays. Here's Lapointe now. He just won't let it go. He gets away with it to start with, and then finally he's called by Mark Fawcett. Mark Crawford said, we just can't take unnecessary penalties. The Rangers had 2 power play goals in game one. They've got one already here tonight, Claude LaPointe's supposed to be a spark plug, supposed to be a catalyst, but you can't take stupid penalties, and that's 2 now for Claude LaPointe.
Third penalty against Quebec in this period. The Rangers have had 3. There has been 1 power play goal scored in the game. That by Mark Messier at 12:41. Larmer had scored a shorthanded goal in the first period when it was 1-0 after 20 minutes. Now we're in the final minute of this second period. And the Rangers get a shot from the line. Big rebound off the goal post. Verbeek hit the post. Rangers leading, and Messier drives one into the skates in front of the net. And the Nordiques clear it out. Messier can't handle a pass at the blue line. He had to wait for Graves to get back on side. Nordiques do not clear it. Now they do. Young to Ricci, but he was turning the other way, going off. 15 seconds left in the period. Zubov stopped by Sakic. Verbeek backhands it in. Yuri Krupp in to pick it up, and Graves hit the big defenseman. 2 players go down. 2 seconds left. Well shot. High over the net. And the siren goes to end the second period with the Rangers taking a 4-2 lead.
And control as they're all around Stéphane Fiset. They're doing a good job defensively, and their leaders have been leaders. Once again, Mark Messier, the dominant player in period 2 of game 1, the dominant player in period 2 here of game 2.
Rangers out shooting the Nordiques again, 12-9 in the second period. And get goals from Graves, Nemchinov, and Messier, and they lead Quebec 4-2. Back on for the third period. This is game 2. Quebec winning the first one in sensational style, but the Rangers leading this one 4-2. Here's the scoring of the hockey game. Larmer shorthanded at 12:48 in the first. Look at the shots, 11-3. Then Basson at 2:38. Graves and Nemchinov, 5:37 and 6:10. And Messier on a power play at 12:41. And Laukinen at 13:37. And the shots again over 2 periods, 23-12 in favor of the New York Rangers.
Well, as that old philosopher Yogi Berra might say, it's deja vu all over again. Cheech, 4-2 Rangers, end of the second, starting the third. Same thing here tonight, game 1 and game 2 exactly.
The Rangers have a power play to start this third period. Joe Sakic with 20 shifts. Mark Messier playing the longer shifts as he usually does at his ice time. And this is a key penalty kill for the Quebec Nordiques. They have 1:13 to kill on the Claude LaPointe penalty. They have to get the job done.
Leach on his way to playing half this hockey game. He's logged 20 minutes over the first 2. Graves gives it to Messier in the corner. Out to Leach at the blue line. Leach again. Messier didn't expect that quick pass. Now he's ready for this one. Back to Leach. Zubov again. They're on the outside, and that's where the Nordiques want him to stay. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Verbeek, sharp angle pass. Zubov was open, coming in off the point, but couldn't knock it down. Cleared back out. 30 seconds left in the penalty to LaPointe. 4-2 New York. Verbeek handled well at the blue line by Forsberg. And Lefebvre dumps it down the ice. Zubov back with 15 seconds left in the penalty. Time running out for the Rangers on this power play. Forsberg trying to poke it ahead to Nolan. He was in behind everybody. Rangers bring it in. Nemchinov going after it, but the Nordiques are going to kill off the penalty. LaPointe is now out of the penalty box. Low, head to center. Kovalev wrapped it in. Set played it. Low pitching in, stopped it with a skate. Kovalev fed it behind the net. It was lost. Here's a chance, Nemchinov, and he couldn't handle it in front of Fiset, who was charging out at him. Nordiques dump it in. Rattled on the boards by Rapotsov. It's loose in front and gloved by Healy, and he holds it.
Vic, there's a prime example of a player who doesn't shoot the puck enough. Nemchinov gets that puck, and as soon as he gets it, he's thinking, well, okay, I'm going to do something with it instead of just shooting. Perfect scoring position in front of Stéphane Fiset, and he ends up not getting a shot at all.
And losing any element of surprise there was on Fiset on the quick turnover.
He's got it, lots of time, and all of a sudden he's going to try and deke him. Krupp has time to react. Stéphane Fiset has time to get over. The shot's there, and then it's not there by the time Sergei Nemchinov decides, well, I'm going to deke the goaltender.
1:49 played in the third period. The Rangers lead 4-2. The point wins the face-off. Deadmarsh's shot is blocked in front of the net and cleared to center ice. Nordiques now have to take it to the Rangers. They did it in game 1 to win it going away, 5-4. The point picks his way back and over the line. Finally loses it. Simon didn't wait for him to come back out. Play goes right on though. Deadmarsh gets away from Leach. Got a pass in there. Lapointe covered. Here comes Lefebvre. Shot is blocked by Larmer. And Larmer, realizing they might be in a little trouble there, shoots at the length of the ice. That's an icing, and we have a Stanley Cup update. Here again is Ron McLean.
Bob, the Pittsburgh Penguins with 2 goals quickly to start the third period. First it was Robitaille, and here's the second. Ron Francis feeds cross ice to Jaromir Jagr. 29 seconds apart, those two tallies have tied the score at 3 at the Civic Arena.
Kelly Rudy was talking about that series on how on paper all that talent, the Pittsburgh Penguins up front, well, it's coming through in the third period.
Here's Wolanin trying a long shot. Big rebound off the chest of Healy, but the Rangers covered up for him. Graves shoots it in. Wolanin back. Messier tried to knock it down. It gets back out over the line. Nolan coming up there with Basson carrying in. Nolan tried to pass it along the line, and Messier has it. He saw Zubov up there ahead of him. Zubov, poke check. Forsberg forced back by Pat Verbeek. And Adam Foote lifts one away. The Nordiques will make changes. Leach on the ice again. Long lead pass going nowhere. Kovalenko with Sakic right behind him. Sakic tried to find Clark in front. Krupp poked at it. Still inside the line. Wrapped in deep by Kovalenko, but too high, unfortunately, for the Nordiques. And the play is called.
The land, mark of characteristically clean, cold.
Have won the Stanley Cup. They're all from Montreal. Claude Ruel in 1969, Al McNeil in 1971, and Jean Perron in 1986.
And job security after those?
Wade Krupp stepping up with a weak backhander. Healy no problem with it. A little bit of pushing and shoving in front of the net, and I think 2 players will go.
Oh,
Boom takes a left hand from Wendell Clark. Not a hard one, but stood him up.
That's a pretty good left jab, Bob. I don't know whether you'd say not a hard one if you were down there taking that one.
Wendell, wait a minute.
Fiset totally turned away from that scene as he was heading to the box to make the penalty call.
There's the right hand from Wendell Clark. He can throw him with both, but shoved by Bukaboom. He's got the stick in his hand. Okay, there's another right hand. Both are going to go, and we don't see that good left jab. Left jab occurred just after that, and they're both only going to get 2 minutes. We've got 4-on-4 hockey for the first time, starting a full 2 minutes of 4-on-4 hockey for the first time in this series. Mark Crawford from Belleville, Ontario, and Coley Campbell from Tillsonburg. Coley has a rink named after him. The Nordiques practice rink here in Quebec is the Reggie Lemelin rink. Coley has a rink named after him in Tillsonburg. He says they don't have enough room in the foyer for all the sweaters that he wore in the NHL. They have a little case, and they just didn't have enough room to put all his sweaters up.
Rangers 4, Quebec 2. Coming up to the 4-minute mark of the third period. Healy in goal for the Rangers. Fiset again for Quebec. Shots one-sided, 24-14 in favor of New York. Leach playing a great game tonight. Comes in, faked the shot, goes around the net, takes a look back out front, now leaves it for Messier. Messier falls, however. Graves getting away from Wolanin. Graves gets in front, knocked down near the line by Leach. Forsberg will start to play. Wolanin and Kaminsky come up for Quebec. And he turns back. Got too many on the ice for a second. Went unnoticed. Nobody in on the play. Forsberg was coming in. Takes the shot. Healy the save. And the Rangers turn. Adam Graves. Right wing pass. Messier stopping. Obviously, they want to make changes. 1 minute left in the penalties. This 4-on-4 situation. Quebec down 2 goals. Sakic driving in hard, trying to turn it up a notch again. He's in front of the net now. Chases his man to the far corner. Kovalev played it back in his own goal for Lowe. Sakic hit Lowe. Lowe poked it away with his hand, a smart move. Sakic had his stick covered. Kovalev keeping it in. In on the boards, it's centered. Right in front of the net, they go. No shot. Sakic turns at the blue line. Quebec turning it on, though. The pass into the shot. It's juggled by Healy and gets back of the net for Lowe. And he says, look out, I gotta get this out. And he does. Moving up. Rangers. Kovalev centering it. Score! Beautiful pass by Kovalev. And the Rangers get the goal here, 4 aside. And they take a 5-2 lead.
Offensive defenseman, Dick, there's no substitute for that. Sergei Zubov, Brian Leach, you get a 4-on-4, you got lots of ice, and teams just don't watch those defensemen coming up late. Kovalev starts the play, and then Zubov realizes, hey, this is a good chance. He jumps up, Kovalev goes wide, Zubov is wide open. Krupp doesn't see him. Fisette's got no chance. Zubov off the post and in.
There was a Quebec player who fell down in the Ranger zone. I think it might have been Young. And he was tired. He was waiting to the bench, and he went right there. They were, in effect, a man short on that rush by the Rangers.
Take some chances when you're down. And Zubov jumped right by everybody, wide open on the 2-on-1.
You know, we talked off the top of game number 1 about the importance of the Nordiques to control Leach and Zubov. The other night, New York had 32 shots, and the 2 defensemen had 12 of them. Well, that's only the 3rd shot for them tonight, all 3 by Zubov.
Zubov the goal from Kovalev and Verbeek at 5:35, and they're still 4 aside. Well, that goal came from New York after the Nordiques came so close to scoring themselves. Larmer brings it in. Set up for Nedved. He's forced to go back to the net. The penalized players are back on, so we are playing full strength now. And Deadmarsh is away to center for Quebec. Gets it over the line. Given a light bump. Here's Lefebvre. He'll get a shot. Blocked by Healy. Goes to his right. And the Rangers get it out. Matteau going up after it. Lefebvre beat him to it. Simon tried to poke it ahead for LaPointe. Nordiques forced to come back. Adam Foote. Lots of time to move it. Gives it to Deadmarsh. He was wide open. Nice pass to LaPointe through the middle. He's stopped. And the Rangers get rid of it again. All the way down the ice this time. That's another icing call against New York. And we have this update for you again. Here's Ron.
Bob, the Pittsburgh Penguins having a huge 3rd period. Pavanka's in the box when John Cullen in the corner feeds to Kevin Stevens in the slot. Joey Mullen gets another assist on that one. 3 goals, 3-14 apart. The Pens now lead 4-3 against Washington at home.
Well, that's a nice comeback for Pittsburgh.
Speaking of being at home, as Ron just did, let's bear in mind that Quebec has lost only once in 25 games in this building.
They're down 5-2 here to the New York Rangers in Game 2. Winning Game 1, 5-4. Sakic 3 goals. His 3rd with 38 seconds left in the 3rd period. But we are nearing the 7-minute mark of the 3rd now. The Rangers have a 3-goal spread. So the Nordiques have their work cut out for them. Krupp at the blue line. Shot a pass ahead. Forsberg coming in, took his man neatly. And the Rangers cover up and get it out to Messier, and he dances in there with it. Messier left it there in front of the slot area. Verbeek is dumped, and the play is called, and it's going to be a Quebec penalty.
Last year, our employees earned almost $1 billion in salaries. Our suppliers and their employees.
In this hockey town, there's not only talk about beating the New York Rangers, but a Stanley Cup appearance. That's a lot of pressure on a team.
Well, I think this is the worst thing that could happen to the hockey club. They're young, they're playing against the New York Rangers with all that experience. And Mark Messier in top shape right now. So instead of talking about the New York Rangers, everybody's talking about the Stanley Cup Finals. So you got to beat them before you get there. So there's a lot of pressure on them young players' shoulder. It's going to be tough for them.
Great pioneer in Quebec, Maurice Fillion. Bob, back to you.
Timeout called by Mark Crawford at an unusual time. Kelly Rudy talked about the discipline factor, the young Quebec Nordiques playing the veterans, and Pat Verbeek. Who has a hold of whom here? Pat Verbeek and Peter Forsberg. It's called interference. Forsberg gives him a little shot, but that's a young mistake. Okay, the score is 5-2. Maybe now it doesn't matter so much, but you look at the way the Nordiques came back in game one, and that's still an undisciplined penalty, and I think Mark Crawford didn't like the call, and this is his way of expressing to Mark Fawcett that he did not like the call, and he called a timeout.
And through the timeout period, didn't say one word by the look of it to any of his players. He just stood there. Now he's talking a bit
to them now. Colin Campbell looks on and says, how long is this timeout going to be? We had the commercial break and then a timeout after. It's like a basketball. Last 2 minutes of a basketball game. It's going to take half an hour to play these 2 minutes. Now Mark Fawcett is over talking to Mark Crawford.
Won't invite them to the same party tonight after the game, I don't believe.
Rangers charter out of here after the game tonight. Down to Manhattan. Nordiques will skate tomorrow here and then head off to New York for games 3 and 4. We are nearing the 8-minute mark of the third period of this one. And the Rangers have what looks to be a comfortable lead, 5-2, but you never know with these Nordiques. However, right now, the Rangers have a chance to go up 6-2. They have a power play. They move it up to Messier. To the line and along the blue line with the pass. It's intercepted in front by Scott Young.
Penalty time clock has malfunctioned, and they've shut off the numbers and the lights opposite the penalty to Forsberg right now.
Here's a pass ahead. Verbeek dropped it back to Leach. Into Pat Verbeek again. Fade. Whacked at it. It hit Verbeek. Kaminsky picked it up. Can't move it out. Nedved slides it back to Leach, who takes a shot right in the slot. Down goes Fawcett to stop Graves' bid. And Sakic fired the puck to center. Foot went up there chasing it. They get it over the line, and Foot nearly did get in behind. Foot from the corner, sidestepping Graves. Group at the blue line. A shot hits Sakic. Kovalev got it up to Nedved in alone. He scores! The pass got through to Nedved. He was behind everyone. And faked Fawcett. And that for sure is a 4-goal spread now for the Rangers. On a power play goal, they lead 6-2.
Perfect pass up to Peter Nedved by Kovalev again. And Nedved, this is how you make $1 million. You don't do anything for 58 minutes, and then you go in on the goaltender and make him look foolish. Peter Nedved head up all the way, head up, fakes, goes to the forehand, and it's not a slider along the ice. It's right up in the roof. Fake, get the goaltender to go down, and then throw it up and over. And that's just what Peter Nedved did.
That's the most intense that we have seen him in these 2 games. The way he looked and the way he moved when he took that pass and had the open ice.
And he took that pass from another man who's had a great evening for New York, Kovalev. assists in a row. Simon's shot deflected. Over the net onto the glass. Deadmarsh trying to give it to Simon again. Hudman's long shot, nowhere near the net. Rangers get it out. They're leading 6-2 now. 8:33 the time of the net-fed goal from Kovalev. Simon. Shot from center ice. Deadmarsh might get there. He does. Right on the net, and Healy for a moment didn't quite know where it was. He found it in time. Face off to the left of Glenn Healy. Lefebvre's shot. Healy didn't see that in time, but luckily for him, it missed the net. Lefebvre is coming back in his own zone, and Anna Graves has been forechecking well for the Rangers. Is up there again. Clark down at the other end
with Pat Verbeek of all people.
And they were talking for a long time, and then decided they'd go.
He's a chippy little guy, but he's not a scrapper, Bob. And Wendell Clark, this is for the next game. This has nothing to do with tonight. This is for game 3.
Well, there was, if you look at consensus amongst those of us who were supposed to be the experts, everybody figured that the Nordiques going into New York for game 3 would be certainly better served with a 2-game lead. The pressure, the zoo that is Madison Square Garden, the inexperience, here we go again talking about it.
Left hand.
And you're right, that's exactly what Wendell's thinking about now.
Pushing and shoving, and this is for game 3. Okay, Pat, you played a chippy little game, you're driving to the net. Well, here's what you're going to get. You missed that left hand. Good thing for Pat Verbeek, he did miss that left hand. Wendell's brother Kerry is in town. He was supposed to go back, but he decided to stay for an extra game. And he's a free agent without compensation. Member of the Washington Capitals farm team. Played in Maine all year. And he'd be a guy that you could probably get for next to nothing, relatively speaking. And got that Clark character. 4 minutes each for roughing. Clark and Pat Verbeek. Colin Campbell has to be pleased with the way his team has responded, led by Mark Messier again tonight. But the support cast has played very well. Nick Kiprio's had the 2 biggest hits in the first period.
And Nick Kiprio, speaking of him, is a hit at home. His sister Estelle. Nick wants to wish her a happy birthday.
And we won't even ask how many years it is.
Thinking about his sister on her birthday. He's in the middle of the Stanley Cup fray. Messier didn't see the puck, but it was cleared away by Kovalev again. He's had a strong game for the New York Rangers.
I missed my brother's birthday, so I can say belated happy birthday to my brother. And my other brother has a birthday, Greg and Murdoch, both within a week, and I missed them both.
Get them all in, John.
Yeah, that's right, I missed them both. There was one of the singers tonight's game. We didn't have the marching band tonight, Dick. We just had a nice, good anthem singer, and then we have the rock singers that sing during the intermissions.
Neil Smith was on the phone to Brian Burke at the NHL head office complaining about that lengthy national anthem business that we had here before game 1, and we were kidding Neil about it tonight. He said, yeah, tonight they got the sword swallowers, then the jugglers will perform.
The Rangers are leading 6-2. Under 10 minutes left in the third. 9:45. To be precise. Farmer bumped by LaPointe. Healy gloved a long one and left it for the defenseman Wells. Karpatsev shot it away. Nedved scored another big goal for the Rangers moments ago. 6-2 lead.
Now we've got Simon and Stefan Matteau, who hasn't seen much action through the last half of the game, but was a pretty important guy for the Rangers. What a difference a year makes. You can follow that cliche for Stefan Matteau. Last year, 2 game-winning overtime goals in double overtime for the Rangers, including Game 7 against the Devils. And yet the playoffs of '95 start a year later, or thereabouts, and he wasn't in uniform on Saturday night. I thought he was a factor in the early part of the game, and there's no doubt that tonight the Rangers, John, set the pace early. They took control of the hockey game. The shots on goal showed it right off the bat.
And Matteau has words with Simon. Simon with the Neil Young haircut.
Well, the Stanley Cup road continues a winding, and on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC tomorrow night, the quarterfinal between the Leafs and the Blackhawks, the Sharks and the Flames, got them all, and the Canucks and the Blues.
The Rangers coasting home on this one, a 4-2, rather 6-2 lead. 4-goal spread. Kaminsky stopped easily at the Ranger line. Wells put it back. Zubov got it out. There's Kyprios dumping the puck into the Quebec zone. Set out. Kovalev was there again. Score! The set didn't play that one at all. Quick shot by Nemchinov up high. And it's now New York 7, Quebec 2.
Mark Crawford looks up at the clock, and that's the danger of one of these games that start to get out of hand, the confidence factor for your goaltender. Kovalev has had a strong third period, fighting it off on the boards. Nemchinov through the screen. Bissett goes down. It's off his elbow, up under the bar. And now we're going to see Garth Snow, and this is to maintain some sense of confidence for Stefan Bissett. It's through the screen, short side, off his arm, and that's a bad goal. All the other ones, Nedved on a breakaway, he's going to score a lot of those. I don't think you could fault Stefan Bissett for many of the others. And to me, this is a mercy hook. Get him out of there now so that it doesn't pile up.
He's not hanging around. He's gone right to the room.
What should a goaltender do? John Garrett, maybe Kelly Rudy back.
Kelly, I'm sure we'll have an opinion on that, but I know what you do. You go to the room, you vent your frustrations in private so that the other team can't build on your frustrations, and then you just relax and try and get ready for the next game.
So Garth Snow, who tomorrow night, I guess it will be back with the American Hockey League team, the Cornwall Aces, playing Binghamton, the Rangers' #1 farm team in the American Hockey League. Gets to play the last 8:51 of this one. Mark Crawford and the Nordiques, and certainly the Nordique fans are seeing something that they are totally unaccustomed to in this building, having lost just one game through the regular season, 24, plus, of course, the other night, winning that one. Bissett has vented his frustration, Cheech, and he's back on a chair beside the players' bench.
7-2, New York. And they are now on their way to tying this series at a game each. Matteau forechecking. Scott Young knocked one down to beat Wells, but he couldn't get it too far. Potsev rolled it back in. This high shot. Snow looking at it, now cutting the angle. He didn't have to touch it. It missed the goal. Play call.
There's a new instant game in town. Keno. It's worth a mosey down. $3 gives you 5 chances to win up to...
Period 7-2.
Nordique trying to get something going for game 3. A little push and shove with Nedved. Ricci gives him a hack with the stick. Nedved came right back.
And the Nordiques on the puck in their own zone. This is Simon bringing it out to center. Kovalenko up there with him. Going in. Sakic, the other player, on this play. Sakic is tied up though. Karpatsev around his own net, and Simon braved him in on the boards. Wells stopped his man, so Healy comes out to try and move it himself. Group stopped it, took the shot. Healy blocked it. He looked back again, but he took it on the left pad, and it was right in front of him. We'll take a moment here now and bring you to the broadcast center in Toronto.
Nothing real urgent, Bob. It's just John Garrett wanted to know what Kelly Rudy thought of Bissett going to the room. How do you think he feels, and what is Mark Crawford doing?
Well, I agree with Crawford getting Bissett out of there. It's been a tough night, and although no bad goals have been scored on him, I think that Mark Crawford would have preferred to throw in Thibault in there and give him some ice time, but it's going to be a long series, and they need Bissett down the road, and it's a good move.
Gentlemen?
Well, thank you, Ron.
7-2 is not near as bad as 10-2. You get your goaltender out, and you're avoiding that chance that he's going to let in 3 or 4 more.
You speak from experience there, John?
Yes, Harry used to leave me in there till it was at 12-2. Get me out.
Over 2 periods, the Rangers had 21 shots on Bissett. Let's face it, early in the hockey game, he was tested in a big way. 11-3 were the shots in the first period in favor of New York. And Facette was the main reason it was just 1-0. Rangers got a goal shorthanded by Larmer. They've had 6 since and are leading 7-2.
Bob, I'm not picking the Stars, but number 27 in the blue shirts, Alexei Kovalev, would be my pick as the number 1 star.
He has 3 assists in the game.
And he's looked confident all night. We showed the play earlier in the game before he had the 3 assists where he banked that one off his skate, Dick. And that's the way he's played all night. That confidence that only he, a talented player, has.
Confidence, a little bit of mustard and relish with it, but that's okay. He needed that sort of feeling toward the game when you talk to the Ranger people about the year he's had, which has been very disappointing considering how well he played in the playoffs last spring.
Now Coley Campbell gets an opportunity to rest some of the big guns. Messier, Leach, they've logged a lot of ice time in these first 2 games here in Quebec. So he's got a 5-goal spread to think about now with 7 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. Foot backhands it ahead, does not get out. Karpatsev, though, lifted one too high. Goes into the crowd.
Looking at it, John, from the other side of the coin, too, as far as the Rangers are concerned. Guy got the puck and he's got a Ranger sweater on. He's waving it, so they're booing him. But the New York team has not allowed Joe Sakic to do his thing tonight, Forsberg to do his thing tonight, and have totally shut down Owen Nolan here this evening.
Forsberg has a couple of assists, but I agree with you, Dick. Other than those 2 assists, he hasn't controlled, he hasn't carried the puck, and Joe Sakic is completely shut down.
Under 7 minutes left in the 3rd period. Rangers, fine effort tonight to tie the series. Then dumped it back to his own net for Uwe Krug, and he comes out for Kaminsky. Got it down for Young. He stopped dead at the Ranger line. Krug again. Ahead to Young. Ricci is open, but Wells stopped the pass.
And there's one of those players you're talking about, Jay Wells and Karpatsev getting a lot more ice time with the big league.
6:20 for the 3rd period. Kaminsky up with the puck. Trying to set it up for Scott Young. Lowe hauled him down, and Kevin Lowe is going to go to the penalty box. As he goes there, we go to the broadcast center and a Stanley Cup update.
At Boston Garden, the New Jersey Devils have made it 2-0 with 90 seconds to go in the 3rd period. Neil Broughton follows the shot, and on the rebound score, Stéphane Richer with the original shot at Blaine Locker. So 2-0 Devils. Brodeur working on that shutout bid with 1:30 to go.
Martin Brodeur on the verge of shutting out the Bruins back-to-back in their home building.
Kevin Lowe with the commanding lead, reaches out with the left hand. He's just going to challenge Mark Facette. Well, do you make this call? And he held Scott Young and takes the penalty.
Bruins are not careful, Dick. They will have played maybe their last game in their old home building.
Could be.
Rangers shooting the puck down the ice. Kevin Lowe in the penalty box for holding. 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Leach is on the ice again. Dumped it in back of the net. Garth Snow out to steady it. And now Leach once more. Fired it in. It hit Larmer at the blue line. 3 Nordiques line up and come to center. Forsberg decided to shoot it in. Healy, lots of time out to play it. Clark was there trying to trap it. Laukkanen and near the blue line. Pushed it ahead. Nolan set it up in the slot. Sakic is covered goal. Nolan can't reach the pass from him. And it's Kovalev again, dumping the puck into the center ice area. Forsberg coming back. Dedmarsh shoots it from center. 1 minute gone in that Kevin Lowe penalty. Ripped away by Sakic down the ice.
Well, this would be a good occasion for the Nordiques to build for Game 3. Get the power play going, get a little bit of confidence.
They're down 5 goals. 7-2 is your score. Lefebvre moving up along the boards. Looking back. Centering it. Krug gets a shot. It hit 3 players and then ricocheted to the corner to the right of Healy. Osborne on there again for New York in a penalty-killing role. Lowe has 25 seconds left in his penalty. Puck just about missed. Booth is going off on a player change. Play goes right on. And Finn gets a little room down the right side. Gets in the slot. Simon shot. Here's a chance. Healy makes a great save. Deadmarsh was alone and trying to lift it over him.
That unorthodox style of Glenn Healy, looks like he's down and out, but he seems to get in front of the puck, make the save, and that's all that matters.
Zubov backhands it in. Penalty is over. 4 minutes left in the third period. And the Rangers quite comfortable now that they have tied the series. They are leading 7-2. Kamensky breaking in there. Scores! Kamensky made a big move on Healy. And that makes it 7-3.
Now, if this isn't a two-line pass stick, it's pretty darn close. Valery Kamensky at the red line, and the Rangers, because the score is so one-sided, aren't complaining too much about this one. Kamensky comes in, pulls it to his backhand, loses control, but gets it up and over Glenn Healy. It rolled on him at the last minute. He pulls it to his backhand, it's rolling, and he gets it up and over Glenn Healy.
You're right, John. I thought I noticed a couple of the Ranger players point right away to the center ice red line as if to say, hey, he was over there, but they didn't point very long.
My guess is for the 7-3 lead, so what?
Exactly.
Sakic. 3:40 remaining in the third period. Rangers poke the puck in. Cleared back out, and Sakic comes up after it. He's grabbed from behind by Mark Osborne. Crowd wanted a penalty. It is centered. Sakic right in there, and Healy has to come up big again on Joe Sakic. He does, and he hangs on to it.
The body in front, kicks up the legs, it doesn't go over the line, it doesn't look that good, but the job is done. Stack the pads, hope it hits you, get a good piece of it, keeps it out.
Shots now are 28-22 in favor of New York. So Healy is getting a little more work than he had in the first half of the hockey game. 7-3, New York leading. Larmer to Nemchinov, he centered it. Snow had to be careful. It came off the defenseman, or Simon, who was really close.
Garth Snow on a tough debut of the Stanley Cup playoffs. He's an American from the Boston area, played collegiately at the University of Maine, then for the United States national team, the U.S. Olympic team, and has been playing as a pro the past couple of years, mainly for the Cornwall Aces, and has been up and down once in a while with the Nordiques. Well, all right, here's my question to you. You knew what it's going to be.
Yeah, who's going to play game 3?
Exactly.
Healy. Now, I know what I'd do. No, I would not
come back with Richter?
I would come back with Richter.
Well, I'm going to get my buddy Kelly to address that.
Okay. I'd come back with Richter in game 3.
Huey Krupp shoots the puck to center ice. 3 minutes left in the third period. And we have a Stanley Cup update again. So action elsewhere. And here's Ramapan.
Okay, Bob, we're starting to wind up a few of the stories tonight. Tom Chorsky scores for the New Jersey Devils here from Stefan Richer. Richer at three-point night. There's still a couple of seconds left. They've littered the ice. Looks like Brodeur will get the shutout. And Ron Hextall can celebrate. His Philadelphia Flyers have defeated the Buffalo Sabres 3-1 at the Spectrum to go up 2-0 in their series.
Well, this series is going to be tied, Ron. We're under 3 minutes left in the third period now. The Rangers have a 7-3 lead on the Quebec Nordiques. Quebec winning the first game 5-4 in spectacular fashion. 3 goals on the night by Captain Joe Sakic. A winning goal with 38 seconds left in the third period. This game a little more wide open from the start, and the Rangers took it right to the Nordiques. Outshooting them 11-3 in the first period, 12-9 in the second. And overall now in the late stages of the game, it's 29-22 in favor of New York.
Stephen Finn out there for the first time since the first period. Nick Kyprios leveled him with a shot. Nick left his feet. I mean, he was lucky he got away with it. And Finn was shook up and hasn't played until these last couple of shifts that he's had here late in the game when it's out of sight.
Coley Campbell said he wanted to get a good effort from his role players. Kyprios has played well. Matteau, as you mentioned, Dick, in the first period played very well. And Mark Osborne, in his few shifts, he's done his job.
Kevin Lowe just barely got a stick on it to knock it away from two Nordiques. Matteau brings it over the line. Yet Nedved up there with him. Could not control it though. Laukkonen shoots the puck to center. Hammered back in by the Rangers. 2 minutes left. 5-goal lead for New York. They've got to be happy about that. 8th in the East. Quebec first. Rangers apparently starting to put it together with about 2 weeks left. Regular season. Here they are against Nordiques. Kyprios slides a pass in front. Another goal right there for New York. Has to hammer home another one and make it 8-3.
I think Peter Nedved's going to get credit for this one because I think that went in before the rebound. Peter Nedved gets a couple of goals. What goals were those? Number 6 and number 6 and number 8 in this game are scored by Peter Nedved.
And both of them goal scorers goals. I noticed Mark Messier held up like the one finger as if say it was the first shot that went in. Here it comes.
Yeah, right off the back bar. Nedved again waited for the goaltender to go down. Nick Kyprios was there just to make sure.
It is 8-3. I don't think anybody would call that one. 18:31, the time of that 8th goal by the Rangers. Nedved from Kyprios. Pretty decent pass by Nick Kyprios to set him up. And now only 1 minute left. So the Rangers will have tied this series at a game each, and the next 2 games 3 and 4 at Madison Square Garden in New York. Wednesday and Friday.
Get ready, boys. Will not be quiet.
40 seconds remaining. Snow comes out of the net just to make sure. Laukkonen back to his own goal. Bukaboom fired one at the net. Snow the save. 25 seconds left. And they're just coasting a bit now. Heavy away out of the net to stop it for Bukaboom. Here's Kevin Lowe. And now Kyprios tipped it inside the Quebec line. 14 seconds left to play. New York Rangers have tied the series at a game each. 5 seconds left. An 8-3 victory tonight here in Quebec City.
The Rangers come out to congratulate Glenn Healy, and Healy was solid, not spectacular. The boy from Pickering with a glowing performance. Coley Campbell comes out and shows little emotion, but he has to be pleased with the way his team has responded. The Nordiques come on, and Mark Crawford has talked about their resilient team, their young team, and maybe they can come back again in Game 3.
Rangers going into the third, leading 4-2, got 3 in a row. Kamensky for Quebec, then Nedved. That was it. An 8-3 win. New York